What's up, my ponios? Andy with Tech Influence here. Excited to go over another one of these hubs for your Mac Mini M4 or your Mac Mini Pro M4. This is from the folks at Ugreen. I think this is one of the most competitive out there because it's a 10-in-1 USB-C docking station that does take up 2 USB ports on the back, but what it provides here, I think, is quite a bit of utility. They've got an M.2 NVMe drive, compatible up to 8 terabytes. It's compatible with most NVMe M.2 drives. They've got 10 gigabits high-speed transmission, dual card reading with an SD card as well as a micro SD card. The display port can support 4K 240 Hertz for the Mac Mini M4 Pro chip. For the Mac Mini with the M4 chip, it supports 144 Hertz at 4K. With 2 USB-As that delivers 10 gigabits of speeds as well as a 3.5mm audio jack. In total output, you've got a display port, you've got 1 USB-C, you have 4 USB-As, SD card slot, micro SD card slot, 3.5mm jack, and obviously the NVMe M.2 slot. With that said, I did purchase this with my own money. Down below in the links in the description will be the product pricing and availability. It does help out the channel. Let's go and unbox this, demonstrate it, put it together, and show you what you're getting yourself into. The 10-in-1 USB-C docking station, I think, is one of the most competitive out there. What's awesome is it uses the display port. Unboxing is pretty straightforward. There's the unit. It will sit below it and it has a little groove or a space for the power. Of all of the docking station, this has been the one that does take up the most in the way of ports. It uses 2 of the ports here. What's nice is it is embed directly into there, giving you also a USB-C port on the back. In the event you wanted to drive some hard drive or an additional fob, you can. You've got 2 USB here on the back, your display port, 3.5mm jack, as well as on the front. You've got your SD card reader, micro SD card reader, and 2 more USB ports, which I think is really nice. There is your NVMe drive right there. On the top where it's going to be sitting, on the top you can see here, it does have plastic as well, and it does have a little silicone mount where the Mac Mini is going to dock. You have a little groove here for your button, but on the side here, it is made out of aluminum, which I think is a nice touch. It does have that groove there, so it does fit in there, still allowing for air to travel through and circulate, but still giving you a nice profile here, adding about 1 inch of height due to your unit. I was a little worried here. I do use a lot of my ports, but I like how it's evenly spaced. You can just place it in there. It's got a low profile. It does use and occupy 2 of those slots, allowing for 1 more, so you can still use some of the back I/O, not impeding on your ability to continue to make content or to have this as your workflow. Here's my standard NVMe drive. It is only 128 gigabytes, but it's nice to be able to use here in this tutorial. This is gonna add about 25% more storage. You can have up to 8 terabytes. Taking off the screws there, you can see it also has the mount as well, allowing you for up to 4 different types of cards. I obviously have the largest one, which is going to extend all the way to the back here, but if you've got one of those micro cards for laptops or smaller units, it is compatible as well. It clips right in there, as you can see. It will angle up, but what you're going to do here is you're going to place this little nut in between the slot here and then have it screw in, securing down your M.2 drive. It does come with a thermal pad. Going to take the plastic off there, fit it comfortably right on top, just like so. There is a plastic film on the top. Placing the last screw in there, we now have installed the NVMe drive. We're ready to go ahead and show off speeds and some of the peripherals that we're gonna place on this. All right, we're here on location. You can see that my monitor is already on. It's connected to the display port, which is gonna give me 4K 60 Hertz. I don't have a 144 Hertz monitor, but that supports it here for the Mac Mini. I don't have the Mac Mini Pro, but you can see it looks really nice. It's a very low profile. I'm using all the peripherals. It doesn't get extra warm. It supports all of the different things that I want to connect to it, including my webcam, my keyboard and mouse. I've also got a hard drive here. We're gonna go ahead and place the SD cards as well as a number of other peripherals. All right, coming up close here, you can see that we've got obviously the SD card and the micro SD card. I do have this USB cable I'm gonna plug into the Mac Mini. You can see all the ports that it supports. It's obviously plugged in to the Mac Mini. Down here, I've got my webcam. I've got a converted. You can also see I've got my keyboard and mouse as well as my display port, still being able to use all the full functions of the unit. Now that we've got everything connected, we've obviously got access to my webcam. It automatically syncs with my webcam for FaceTime. Then showing you here every single one of my drives. We've obviously got my hard drive. We've got my main USB-C hard drive. We have the micro SD card for the Insta360. We've got my SD card for the gold, and then the internal M.2 drive called Andy M2. Okay, we've got a 3 GB file from the M.2 that we're gonna move over to the USB Type-C, showing you the 10 gigabit transfer speeds. Paste this onto here. Almost 16 gigabytes is gonna move at 10 gigabits a second. Moving so fast, it's already at 2 gigabytes. It's almost at 2 gigabytes moved in the last 30 seconds, which is gonna result in about 2 to 3 minutes transfer. Now it's a minute. After about a minute here, it did slow down a little bit at the end, but this is just fine because moving 15 gigs at a minute is exactly what I'm looking for. It's complete. Let's go ahead and move over to the desktop and paste that same item directly to the Mac Mini. This is straight from the M.2 to the Mac Mini, showing you here it's even faster if it's moving directly onto the hard drive of the Mac Mini. That is so fast. That is some of the fastest speeds I've seen, honestly. That is actually liquid fast. Let's go ahead and take a file from the SD card. The SD card will be a little bit slower transfer speed. We have a 6 gigabyte video. We can go ahead and move that to the desktop. The SD card is gonna move a little bit slower, but 6 gigabytes is gonna give you about a minute. So it's about half the speed as the M.2 drive, which I'm fine with. That's still very fast at the 10 gigabits. We have a 3 gigabyte file, moving it over to the desktop. The micro SD card, it's moving a little bit slower, but still a pretty fast speed here, to say the least. You have the option on the display to select 60 hertz at 4K, or you can do it 1080p, whichever one you decide. This is obviously the text size, but showing you here that it is capable of outputting to 4K, 60 hertz, and up to 144 hertz if your monitor is compatible. With that said, I did purchase this with my own money, but I do have some affiliate links down below if you wanted to help support. This video is sponsored. This is a worthy contender. Ugreen does a great job with form factor, usability, and high speed. It is unfortunate that it does take up 2 of the USB-C drives. It does give you one back. It is a sleek, low profile, which I appreciate, and I think it's one of the best here in class. I like having the NVMe socket there to be able to double or triple or quadruple your space, and then having the SD card readers, I think, is fantastic. It moves so much faster than any of the other competitors out there. 10 gigabits a second is pretty awesome as far as transfer speeds go. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. Andy with Tech Influence. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.